Let me ask you a really direct question. Are you using NotebookLM the wrong way? I mean, be totally honest with yourself here. Chances are, you're probably treating this absolute powerhouse of a tool like, well, a glorified digital highlighter. Most people just upload their documents, beg for a really basic summary, and call it a day. But if that's literally all you're doing, you are leaving a massive amount of potential on the table.
Look at the trap we all fall into versus what's actually possible. With average results, you ask for a summary and you get this passive, surface-level skim. But deep understanding? That's a whole different ballgame. By using advanced, highly structured prompts, we can actually transform the AI from a simple, boring summarizer into a dynamic, relentless tutor. So welcome to this explainer. Today, we are embarking on a really fascinating journey to break you completely out of that summary trap. We're going to explore 6 advanced prompts pulled directly from our source material that are designed to turn you from an average user into an absolute expert learner.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, applying and connecting knowledge. Second, testing deep understanding. And third, synthesizing and debating ideas.
All right, Section 1, applying and connecting knowledge. We're moving beyond basic facts to real-world context. Consider this absolute game changer of a prompt. You literally tell the AI, using only the uploaded sources, teach me this new topic by connecting it to my understanding of a familiar topic. Think about that. You are giving the AI a blueprint of your own brain. You ask it to explain similarities, differences, patterns, and mental models. You demand practical examples. You ask it to point out common misconceptions. And most importantly, you tell it to test your understanding with difficult comparison questions. So why does this work so well? Well, it doesn't just list isolated facts. It actively maps new ideas right onto your existing mental models. It even highlights exactly where those analogies break down, which is absolutely crucial for avoiding false equivalencies. Plus, it points out common misconceptions before you can even fall into them. Next up, we build practical application by simulating the real world. You prompt the AI to create 5 realistic situations. But here is the genius part. You ask it to explain the solution step by step for the first one only. For the other 4, you tell it to throw you to the wolves. You solve them blindly, and then it evaluates your reasoning. Educators actually call this the I do, you do method. Step 1, the AI models the correct reasoning. Step 2, you are thrown into the deep end to practice blindly. And step 3, the AI turns into this demanding professor grading your paper, showing you exactly what you missed. You are actively practicing here, not just passively reading. Which brings us to Section 2, testing deep understanding, uncovering blind spots and refining your logic. If you really want to stop memorizing and start truly reasoning, this prompt is your secret weapon. You ask for 10 difficult questions that test deep understanding rather than memorization. You instruct the AI to focus heavily on reasoning, trade-offs, and connecting concepts, demanding that it analyze your blind spots after every single answer. Notice the huge, stark difference between these two approaches. Memorization questions just ask for basic recall, like, what is this? But deep understanding questions, they force you to navigate complex trade-offs. They ask, why does this matter, and how does this actually connect to that? It forced you to think exactly like an expert dealing with messy realities, rather than just taking a simple vocabulary quiz. To really cement all that understanding, our source text introduces a seriously powerful concept, the explanation loop. It's this relentless, iterative process. You explain a concept, you get targeted corrections, and then you try again until you achieve absolute total clarity. To kick this loop into gear, you start by asking the AI to explain the topic simply. But then, you give it this super crucial command, ask me to explain it back in my own words. You are literally daring it to find your mistakes. And the best part, you tell it to repeat the process over and over until you can explain it perfectly without any help at all. Because of this iterative loop, the AI will literally not let you move on until your reasoning is completely flawless. It explains, you explain, it corrects, and you repeat. It's an automated, relentless feedback cycle that is designed to ruthlessly hunt down your weak points.
Finally, Section 3, synthesizing and debating ideas. This is all about high-level mastery and quick review.
Look, sometimes you do actually need a summary, but we refuse to ask for an average one anymore. Instead, you ask for a 1-page summary that you can review in 5 minutes. Notice the really strict constraints here. You demand key connections, common mistakes, and exactly 1 practical example for each major concept.
By enforcing these very strict components, you ensure the AI doesn't just hand you a giant, unreadable wall of dense text. It generates a highly engineered, scannable cheat sheet that prioritizes the exact connections and pitfalls you need, making it incredibly easy to review super quickly.
For the absolute ultimate test of mastery, we peak with the debate prompt. This is where you challenge the AI to go on the offensive and attack your viewpoints. You tell it to argue both for and against an idea. You ask it to challenge weak assumptions and force you to defend your position using actual source evidence.
This is honestly the ultimate confidence builder. On one side, you are doing the heavy lifting, right? Defending your position by pulling actual evidence. But on the other side, you're facing expert AI analysis that is actively poking holes in your logic. You aren't just memorizing facts anymore. You are sparring against a tireless expert opponent.
So, we've covered how to connect knowledge, test your understanding, loop through explanations, and even debate an AI opponent, leaving that whole average summary trap completely in the dust. So, I leave you with this final provocative thought. Which of these 6 highly structured prompts are you going to use on your very next document to guarantee you truly master the material?